Okay, I sold my old lift, guys. I had a Genie electric 40, I got to remember the number on it. It lifted about 45 feet. It weighed 11,800 pounds. And it was an older unit, 90s. And I put new batteries in it. And everything worked pretty good on it. But I kept getting it stuck. I would go out here, go on a yard or something, go off the hard pavement, go into the rolling bumps, and I would get it stuck and I'd have to tow it a little bit. And well, that didn't work out too well. I mean, it worked great around hard surfaces, construction sites, but not when I want to go around and trim some of these tall trees, when I want to work on a tall house and it's, you know, got a slope. So I sold it. I made a little money on it. Actually, I made enough to buy this one. And I found this one down in Pennsylvania, and the pictures looked good, and I wasn't, you know, too excited until I got there. And the man had it set up and operating, and he ran up, did work on his barn, swung it around. This will do a full 360. My Genie used to go around like 7/8, and then you'd have to go back around to reach the rest of the direction, or 3/4 or so. This will go continuous around. And it's got, this is an Eagle 47, as you can see. It's by Ameriquip. It's got manual outriggers, so I don't have all the electronics to worry about. There's a couple electronics, but not much. This is a 90s up to 2000. I'm not sure. We're trying to figure out the serial numbers. The owner didn't know. It used to be a rental, and what they did is they kept good care of it. They gave me a whole book of service records. They replaced a few things. They replaced, I think, both cylinders at one point. The hoses look great on it. There's no leaks. I don't see any leaks on it. The downriggers, there's no rust on them, you know. The tires are like brand new. No weather checks or nothing. The bearings felt good on it. It's got an 8 horsepower Honda, a GX240. It's electric start. It's got electric choke. The controls are here on the ground and also on the basket. It's got your unlock up here, which I did. I unlocked, I gotta say, up there. I unpinned it. This is a manual swing arms, and so I'm not sure I'm in a good location here yet. But let me show you the rest of it. It has a truss hanger. You can hook this at the bucket, and you lift trusses up onto a, you know, pole barn or whatever you're working on. The running lights are in great shape, and they all work. The controls, everything looks neat and tidy. The oil was clean. It's got a hydraulic filter. It was serviced in 17, so it probably hasn't been used. This guy said he's had it a while and he hadn't used it since last year. The hydraulic fluid level is clean and looks good. I topped it off with gas. It holds about a gallon something. I'm just trying to show you what I know about it so far. It's got, of course, your heavy jack that flips over in the front. And then it's got, you know, the matching serial numbers. It's got hydraulic brakes, safety chains, and lights. It's got the 2-inch ball that tightens up on there, which I never had this style, but it stays tight. It's got a release. It'll lock your brakes if you, you know, get detached from your vehicle. Hopefully, that'll never happen. And let's see what I know about it here. Well, let me tell you the project. I've got this tall house, you know, and at the top, there's 2 chimney flues. They were both stainless steel caps on it, and we had a windstorm and some branches come down on the roof. Left a couple little dings up there, but I heard this thunking noise, and the next day I looked out, and this cap had broke off from the flue. It looks a little crooked here. But what I want to do is I want to glue that on, and what I'm going to use is some Loctite PL concrete non-sag foundation walls and masonry polyurethane sealant. And so what I want to do is use the lift to get it up there, which I could do with ladders, but you got to walk and carry and nowhere to sit anything. The height is probably, I would say 36 feet or so, 35. And this should lift 41, and I think they allow a man being 6 foot, he can reach 6 foot. So I think it's a 41-foot lift. And let me show you how the controls work on it. First, we know that these arms swing out, and I want to make sure there's no tree in the way. The recommendations was to try to be 20 feet from the surface you want to work on. And so when you have this type of lift, instead of the arms just coming down electrically, they swing out. You got to make sure you're not going to hit anything. This is your swivel. So I'm measuring from here to the building. You know, the closest point over there is 12. This point is probably 20. I'm thinking I'm good, but I don't know if I can reach that. We'll see. But let's see if this arm will reach. Let's try to do this here. I'm not sure if I'm in the right position. These have a lock that goes from one to lock them all on. Plus when you pull them in, they lock and they swing out and lock. So you just unscrew this, take the pressure off, and you can grab this arm and bring it out. See, they don't come out. So now you pull this pin and swing it a little, and see how that'll come right around. See how close the building is here. Might be too close. And it looks like I gotta go another 12 degrees. So I think I'm gonna, because I'm hooked up to the tractor there, I think I'll just swing the nose around a little. And that's not a big deal. I'm only, it looks like I'm 4 feet difference here. It's the back two I have to worry about. And let's see what the other side is. And swing around till they lock. Same thing here, I'm just a little close. See that? This side would actually work. It looks like I got to turn about 5 degrees, and because I'm on the tractor, I should be able to just turn and stay away from that tree over there. Let's test that out. Back this up so you can see what we're talking about here. It's coming close to the sunroom, and I think if I turn the tongue that way just a little, should do it. And I've only played around with this once, so I'm learning as we go. You just got to make sure she locks in, you know. And we're just about there. Are we there? We are 2 degrees off probably. So I'll do it just a little more. So I want to go that way. we're pretty close now. And let's see what we got here. Now see, it's hitting the ground. So all I got to do is lower the front down a little bit. That's what I mean on this slope. And a little bit up here does a whole lot back here. But we got a sloped lawn like a lot of people, you know. Hear that? So we're good. And now, I have scaffolding and staging and all that, but to get up on to a roof, to get up onto another roof to do a chimney, that's a big project, especially when it's steel. So now what I'm going to do is, see, the basket's not too close to the building. My pivot isn't much farther away. It's still like, you know, 12 feet. I think I'm okay. Now I take the front one, loosen this up. I talked myself through this, so I do it right. And that goes to the stops. That's it. And then I know the other one will work, so you just pull this out, and that drops. And when you start cranking it, it'll catch in the first hole. You know how easy that is? Same thing up here. And then this one might not make one, but we'll see. It did. And then let's go around the other side, because there's a few more things I want to show you here. So I'll pull this one out. And then, like I said, you just pull these pins. That's it. And then she'll automatically lock in right there. And then the back one. See that catch in? All right, so all four are caught. So now we want to look at our tongue, and we don't want this jack touching the ground. And like I said, I can adjust that with a bucket, or just jack this up. You could lay it over, or just get it up off the ground, you see. And this works really good. And so I couldn't find a lot of complaints. Usually I can find things wrong with the machine, and I can't. I mean, this thing has been well cared for. This has safety lockout. Let me show you here. We got a kind of like a camper bubble. It's just a basic level. See how it's over here? So that tells me I got to jack the opposite side up to get it level. So we're going to start off over there. But let me get this down so I know it's touching. Yeah, that's down. And see, we're the same spot. So I'm going to start jacking from the opposite side. You want this as level as you can get it. So I'll go up a little bit with this because the bubble's on the opposite side. And go up a little ways. Kind of like my scaffolding. I set that up like that. I throw a little level on it, throw a square on it, and get it, you know, measure by diagonals and get them square. Like this is a low point, so this one has to go up a lot. This will be the front. And because it's hooked to the tractor, it's going to bring the bucket up with it, which is fine to me. But you want to get it level. What I thought about doing with this is taking this bolt out, taking the handles off, put me at like a 3/4 or 7/8, whatever size that is, socket, drill a hole in the socket or something, and then put a pin in it, use my impact to run these down. Be a lot like a camper electric one. Just spin it faster, because these are up, you know, like this one now is up near my face. Can't crank it as fast. But you got to just go back and forth a couple times till you get the bubble in the middle. Once you get it in the middle, these sensors, the level sensors, will go off. See how close we are already? So now we're in the side, the bubble. And if we shoot over, we still got to do that one. And because we're on the back side, we got to do this one a little and this one a lot. All right, I got the bubble exactly in. Exactly in the center. And it was about 10 cranks on that one, 3 on this one. That's all it was. So now it's perfectly level. Let me show you the controls here. They're pretty simple. Let me back up enough that you can see the upper controls too. Okay, there we go. And show you what we got to do here. He gave me 3 keys, which I like. The gas tank, it's got a cover over it so no debris gets down on top of the engine. Let me show you we'll turn this on and everything lights up. The left front, left rear, right rear. So we're level, we're fine. The bucket switch is good. The left axle is good, the right axle is not. Okay? It's very possible that tire's not off the ground. So let me check that one. Okay, all of our switches are on now. So we got left front, that's the outrigger, left rear, right rear. Left axle, right axle. We've got emergency stop bucket switch. So everything's good. So now we should be able to start and run this. I moved you back a little bit. So all you gotta do is hold the electric choke down. Runs good. A little bit loud for me, but it runs good. And let me move you back to show you what we gotta do. I'm gonna show you the controls from a distance, and then I'll probably put it on time lapse. I'll send it up there and you can watch me play if you want. Now I've got, you raise the upper boom up about 3 feet to clear, then you raise your lower boom up about a 45, and that puts the basket down where you can reach it. Now I get in the basket and I switch the control to the basket, which is hydraulic switch. And let me back you up and put you on time lapse. I want to go up, I want to put that stainless chimney cap and flue on with that landscape material. I'm going to hope it reaches. Let's find out. I got my important stuff here. I got my hat, got my drink. What am I having? Lemon iced tea. I've got my flue, caulk gun, knife, and a construction adhesive. So here's your controls up here. You've got your engine choke up here also, a kill switch, stop engine. Then you want to check to make sure it runs. We've got the upper up and down of the lower arm, the rotation left and right, and the up and down of the upper arm. So this being the upper and that being the lower. Sometimes when you want to go up, it's kind of like go down to go up, if you understand what the lifts do. And so when you get in near a building like this and you think you want to go up, a lot of times you press the down will bring you closer. So you just got to be careful what you do. I'm going to try to see if it'll reach up there, and we'll put it on time lapse and see what we get. Probably over there you can see the whole unit. Now I'll take it up. My old Genie lift, you could lean on it and it would move a little bit. It's a joystick thing. These don't move unless you lift them up. So I'm going to want to do the upper arm up. I lift up and forward. So that's it, guys. My first real test of this, I went up 12 feet with it before, but this time I went just about all the way. What I noticed on it is the faster you pull the controls, the faster it goes. So if you go slow, it goes slow. So it's not too bad. I got a little jerky a couple times because I pulled it a little too fast. It didn't seem to settle down. It stayed where I wanted it. The only limitations, like I said, on this unit is the arm. You can't get any closer than what you're at now, but it reached where I wanted it to go, and I still had probably 5-6 feet left. So I think I could have reached up, over, and beyond the chimney. And so, you know, the engine runs real good. There's no leaks. You can shut it off up there if you're going to be up there a while. With that truss hanger on there, I can use it to lift items and carry. They say you can put an air conditioner on a roof or things like that for a commercial building. Hey, I'm super excited, guys. I just got to get this under cover, and I'm going to be using it on some upcoming jobs. I got a couple little ones, like over at my mother's house. She's got an old pole barn, about 40 years old, that she wants to paint the roof on. And I said, well, if I'm on it, I can't paint it all. But if I can get above it, I can probably spray it. She wants it green. And then she's also got a huge cottonwood, whatever it's called, tree that has several branches hanging out over the driveway and some over the house. She wants me to limb that out. I attempted it with a ladder, and it was tough. It was tough, and it still comes down and hits her flowers. If I can go above it, and I could lower it with ropes, I think that's a way to go. And you know, this is narrow enough that it's narrower than your vehicle. I think it's 6.5. It's under 7 feet wide. It's 28.5 feet long. So that's a problem putting in a 24-foot garage. So I'll probably be building a lean-to for it. I'm going to keep it lubed. I'm going to change the filter on it right away and change the oil. We also have trees in our property we want to limb out, and a couple I want to take down that are iffies, meaning that they're a little close to the building, and you know, I want them to go the right direction. Maybe I'll go up and take out the tops, and then I can hook a chain or a cable so that we can do like Dawson and I did last time, is give it a pull the right direction. And so yeah, check this out. I also got a customer that wants me to go up and take some trees down right next to his house. They're actually touching his house. So this would be handy for that. The only thing you got to be concerned is power lines, you know. You got to stay away from the power lines. I should have had my harness on. It's buried in the back of the garage behind my tools I just took in there. And I thought I'd be over the roof. I could step out. This has 2 emergency releases on it. There's a little valve right there so the ground person could let it down in case the engine stalls. And there's also one up on the lift so you can lower the bucket down. It'll go down slow if you had to, emergency. But the other thing I want to take up with me is a heavy climbing rope, just in case. And So today was not a good way to do it, to show you, but I wanted to go up, get that chimney part glued on there. You can see it now, and it looks pretty good. I just think that keeping the rain out of there is important, and that'll keep the bats and birds out. It's got a little cage on it, screen. And so remember to like and subscribe, and check out the eagle on another video. We'll see you again. There's a band across the street just as I'm picking this up. So what I did is I just cranked these back down. You pull the pin, the bases come up and lock. You swing it over. Dawson didn't lock it, but you swing it over and you crank these handles down, and it has a base lock right there. See how it's coming close? And that keeps the rattling down if you want to haul it down the highway. And then it's got that cable lock that comes over and locks right here. So it's a safety, so it can't open if you're going down the highway. And then as far as I know, you don't need to register this. It's a piece of construction equipment, but I do have the paperwork on it. And like I said, this thing is in awesome shape, and I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to keep it undercover. Let me show you a glimpse of the hoses. Everything looks good. There's no fraying on them. The fittings are tight. It looks like they replaced a couple of them at some point. They got a protector sleeve on them. Your manual goes in here. Your locks are up here. So you swing this up, lock your top boom on. I can get it lined up right. I can't do it one-handed. But you'll bring it on and lock it. I'm not worried because I'm not hauling it anywhere. I'm going to go over the next tree and lift up. You set your boom down in here. It's got a cradle. Sits right in there in a V. And then you can bring this pin up, put it right through here and lock it so it's stable down the road. Like I said, it's got a 7 and a 4 prong plug. I've got the 7. I plugged it in, signals, brakes, everything worked. I didn't have to do anything to this. It had fuel in it, and so I just added a little over a gallon. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's probably going to cost me 10 bucks for a filter. And like I said, that was serviced last in September of 17. The guy hasn't used it. You can tell it hasn't been used. And here's where you put your fuel in. And this keeps the debris out. Just slide this cover over. And all right, well, like I said, I purchased my Genie lift. I used it for about a year. I helped put the roof on the house and did some other work with it, and cut some trees. I cut these trees way up, get the branches away from the house. I cut these, you can see, way up with that Genie lift, and this will reach it also. This might go a little higher. And I got a real good buy on the Genie. I used it a year-ish, and then I sold it for way more than I paid for it, and still probably under the value. And I had enough money left to purchase this one, and I still have enough money left that I could buy a small 4-wheeler or something. So hey, I'm pretty happy. So got very little investment, and I ended up with a nicer machine. And so here we go. There's the numbers on it. Merriquip Eagle 47. And remember to follow along and check out my next construction projects where I need to get up in the air. We'll see ya.